this is Megan with littlegraysquirrel.com, and I want to share a fun reverse canvas project with you today that's maybe a little bit different than something you've seen before. I still used the heat transfer vinyl for my words here, my welcome fall, but then I've embellished it a little bit by adding some silk flowers, some inkjet printable transfer sheet, and some glitter. So keep watching and I will show you how. And also please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'm going to put a link to my blog in the description below where you can get the step-by-step written instructions as well as the supplies needed. And I will put in also how you can access my free resource library where you can get your own SVG cut file to make your own project just like this. Okay, so the first step in making our reverse canvas project is preparing our frame. So before you actually go buy a frame, if you can, if it's at all possible, you want to try to look at the back of your frame. And they're supposed to be rustic. It kind of adds to the charm of the reverse canvas. But like some of them, you can see this one has a knot in it that's just a hole in the frame. And then also on one of these corners, let's see this one, I don't know if you can see it, but the frame itself is uneven there. It actually like pokes out quite a bit. So if you just kind of feel along the frame and feel if it's even, so you can see how that pokes out. So that's not going to look very nice once it's made, and then there's something on it and there's a little bit of a divot. So try to pick one that's nice so that you end up with a nice project. So this one's got a little bit there, but this one looks pretty good. Okay, you'll definitely need some sort of blade. This is just a utility knife. You may need pliers, you may need a hammer. These are optional, depending on how your frame looks, how it went together. So just start cutting between the staples and the edge of the frame. Okay, that's most of the way cut through. Now you're just going to peel off the canvas. Just go ahead and tear it. Leave the staples in. They don't need to come out. Okay. So here's our canvas. We'll set this aside and we'll just clean up the rest of this. Okay, so now you have a decision to make. If your staples are pretty flush, you can just go ahead and leave them there. If you have one that pokes out a little bit, you can pull them out with the pliers if you want. Just grab them and twist them out. Make sure it goes in the trash. Or your hammer, and you can just tap it in. And it's just to make them so the back is going to be even. It's not that big of a deal. All right, now we can see what the front of our frame looks like. Nice. It's a little bit here. Maybe I'll try to snip that off if you don't want to, well, you want to be careful that you don't cause damage. So I will sand those off and then we will move on to the next step, which is staining. Okay, so next step is we're going to stain the frame, and I have a couple of options. You can use whatever stain you prefer. On the photo of the finished project that I showed you at the beginning of the video, this is the product that I use on that, the Danish oil, which is a really nice stain, and it actually finishes, it has like a penetrating oil and varnish in one. It costs a little bit more, and it takes longer to dry. It says about 8 hours. But it's really nice to work with. And then this time I'm going to use, this is a Rust-Oleum Cognac color, so it's a little redder, and I have wanted to try this one. So we'll see how this one goes. This one's supposed to dry in about an hour, so it's a little quicker to work with. So I shake it good. Okay, you definitely want to wear gloves. So here's what this looks like. It says to brush it on, and then we're gonna let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll wipe it off with the cloth. So you want to cover all the front sides and then the insides, and then in this little thing here, especially since the stain is so dark, you want to make sure that you try to fill in that area. And some of them have a little ridge along the edge. Make sure you're filling in there so you don't leave any gaps. So now we'll let this sit for just a couple minutes. Make sure we don't wipe anything off with our gloves. Okay, this stain has sat for just a couple minutes. If you want it darker, you leave it longer. I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it off now and see how it turns out. All right, so there is our stained frame. And we'll let this dry. And then the rest of the video is going to be using the lighter frame that I had seen before. So this is just showing a different option of different colors. Alright, so after the canvas is all ready, we're going to get the frame ready and pick out what we want the top and the bottom. Since these are made for the inside of a canvas, they're not exactly the most high quality wood, but it has some character. So we'll pick out how we want it to look and center it. Once it's centered, just get a pencil and you're gonna draw a line, hold it at an angle, so it's gonna go in, but hold it at the same angle all the way around. If you move it around, it's gonna be uneven. Okay. And then we just cut. We'll cut to the inside of the line so that it's not going to overhang in the back, because we have plenty of room back there. There we go. Oh, it's looking so pretty. Okay, so you can either use staples to reapply the canvas to the board, or you can use hot glue. I'm going to use hot glue because I have it here handy, and I'm going to use it in the center also. So I'm going to glue along the wood frame and then apply it and then weight it down so it is nice and smooth. You got a little bit of room to move around. Make sure it's smooth. Press it down. Now it's time to pick our flowers. These were just the 5 set of mums from Dollar Tree, and I have a whole bunch here actually, because I was trying to decide what I wanted, and I ended up just going with the red and the yellow orange mums, and they have like this plastic on the back, so I just took that off, and you can trim this piece down so it doesn't interfere when you're gluing it on. And then I have a couple different leaves. These are more like grape leaves. And then these are the ones that came on the mums. But I like the different colors. So just trim off the leaves that you want. Okay, so Classic Design says you should do odd numbers of things because it's more appealing to the eye. Okay, now we can glue them on. I'll take these off and put them in the same order they were in. That's about where we want those. So, a little bit of glue. And we'll glue up higher so that when you press it on, it still has some movement so it looks a little more natural. So the ones on the bottom we'll glue on so they're facing out. And the ones on the top, we'll kind of fold them in half a little bit. And they're going to get tucked behind. So we'll put a little bit here, a little bit here. Make sure we don't lose any petals. There we go. So we'll place it up a little higher and then fill it in like that. Same with this one. I think this needs a little bit more green. Fluff it up. There we go. Alright, so we need some hanging hardware so we can hang it on the wall. So we're going to measure. And it's exactly 12 inches. And this is my thing here, saw hook. So you can do either way. I'm going to do it this way, just in case it's not even. And we're going to, the frame itself is about 1.25 inches. So we want to make sure that we hang it low enough, like right in the middle of there. So we just mark about halfway. So this has a little middle point in the middle. And these nails are super tiny, so you want to use a pair of needle nose pliers to hold them so you don't hit your fingers. So line up, and then you hold your pliers, a little nail like that. And I just have a tiny hammer because this is kind of a small job. You can use a bigger one if you want. There we go. Now we can hang it. Thank you for watching my video. I just wanted to follow up with just to show you how the darker frame turned out, since as you saw in the beginning of the video, this was the first frame that I made with the walnut stain, the lighter, and then this one was the one that I stained in the video, the cognac color, and it's a little more red. But I just wanted to show, you know, how the darker frame would look just as nice too. So there's really a lot of ways that you can personalize and make each project look your own. There's a lot of printable graphics that you can get. In my blog post of the free resources, fonts that you can, I'll put a link to that in the description below. You can get a lot of printable graphics that you can add some glitter, add some other embellishments, some more bling, and make just special projects for your home.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos where we have fun and make stuff. Also, follow Little Gray Squirrel on Pinterest and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to see what's new.